Okay, so YouTube says that I'm live right now, so I am unaware about the technology and if it is actually streaming. I'm also unaware of how many of you gave yourself a notice for when I go live. I will figure out how to post this as a regular video so that you could see it. Okay, welcome to Mrs. Keady's class. I am sorry that we don't get to see each other in person. It makes me sad that I don't have you all here. But we have a plan. The plan is developing constantly, so communicate with your teachers. Hopefully they have given you a contact method either through email, maybe some of them have given you their actual phone number. You can always call the school and leave a message here. Welcome parents, I didn't mean to leave you out. Please feel free to watch any of my videos together. The lessons are going to be similar to what I would be delivering in the classroom, except for I don't have the big whiteboard and the stage that I can hop around and act like an idiot trying to get you guys interested in chemistry and physics. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. It's a weird time right now. I have a list of things I want to tell you so that I don't ramble. I always ramble. So there are two methods that I'm going to use to deliver content to you guys. There is a paper method and an online method, and you can choose one or the other, or if you're just that awesome, you could do both. So the old school method are books. There are your old books that we don't use anymore in the classroom. And we won't be using online, but there is a stack of them in the foyer of the school out in front of the attendance office. And there is a printout of the lesson. Now that lesson may take some of you 1 week and it may take others 2 weeks to finish. It depends on how you are able to maneuver through the book and how hard the content is for some of you. Feel free to take 2 weeks on that content. I will be posting another written assignment content on Monday, so you can come down on Monday and pick it up, or parents and kids, if you want to give me your email address, or if you have already, I will also send out a note so that you know that assignment number 2 has been posted to a Google Doc, and mom and dad and grandma, you guys can print that and give it to your kids if you do not want to come down and pick up any more material in person. Those assignments can be either held by you until we reconvene school, but honestly, that might not happen. We might be out of school for the rest of the year, like California and Connecticut and a couple of other states. So if you want to bring the work down when you pick up the new work, drop off the old work, I'll put a box out in front, and I will worry about sanitizing it and dealing with that for contamination issues. I will also sanitize any assignments that I hand out to you on paper. Now, keep in mind that they are unsure how long this virus is able to survive on surfaces. So we should do what the post office is recommending and leave our packages and our paper products outside for 24 hours or longer. There have been some Amazon employees who have come down with the virus, so I don't know about our mail stream, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is just off the cuff thoughts that go through my head, and I want to keep you and me and everybody safe. Okay, parents, if you want to email me the assignments that the students receive, that is okay too. Google Docs is the easiest way, and that is done through a Gmail account. So if you get on Google and you Google open a Gmail account, they'll tell you how to do that. And there is a little 9 square in the upper right corner that you can click on by your initial, and you can choose Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, that kind of thing, rather than you having to purchase a Microsoft Office license so that you can access Microsoft Office and Excel and whatnot. Okay, online class. So my content is going to be delivered through this YouTube channel, and I will be very specific with the different titles of the videos so that you will know if it is chemistry or physical science or physics or health class that I'm trying to deliver to. We're not going to separate the sections. So if you're in second period chemistry or seventh period chemistry, there is just going to be one chemistry class. If you are in physical science, first period or fifth period, seventh grade physical science, there is just going to be one physical science class. I will deliver content for the first part of the video, and then I will give you your assignment for the second part of the video. If I'm limited on time or whatnot for the Google Stream, then it might be one lesson video and then one assignment video. Some of you guys had contacted me about using Google Classroom for the assignments. I do have that set up. You as a student or parent need a Gmail account to be able to access it. Parents and students, I'm willing to let the parents participate in the Google Classroom as a student so that you can access the assignments, etc. And either assignments will be submitted through the Google Classroom, but we're not there yet. So assignments right now, if you're online, should be submitted through email. And we're building a master list of emails through the for the teachers. And so I will be building those groups, and I will be sending out like the notice that this video has posted, that type of thing. It will be coming through email, and I'll try to put text messages on there also. If you were one of the unfortunate parents that received my jumbled text of like 7 texts that got cut off constantly, I am so sorry. This is me dealing with technology. I will get better by force, I promise. Okay, so let's get into your first assignment. Now, it doesn't matter which class you are in. If you are in chemistry, physical science, health, or physics, this is your first assignment for me. And it is just so that you and I get used to my teaching platform. If somebody is unable to access the class for this week, it shouldn't harm them content-wise, because our content for this week is, guess what? COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Okay, so let me flip my notes here. All right. So your first assignment, just because this is what we're all concentrating on, and we are all extremely anxious, anxiety-filled. I was not able to get any work done personally or otherwise during spring break because my cortisol levels and anxiety was so high about all of the changing issues about COVID-19 and school closures and government closures. I could not function very well. So I had to wait until my cortisol levels dropped, and I bet you had to do something similar, or maybe you are still in that mode. Maybe you are still in panic mode. Now, the way that we as students and parents and community can solve this is to educate ourselves. The best thing to drive out fear is to educate ourselves. And if you are afraid of something, then you should attack it until you are no longer afraid. Now, we're not going to physically attack the virus. That's not possible. But you can educate your brain, and then you can use that knowledge to educate people in the community so that all of our anxiety drops a little bit. And while we can still be vigilant, we do not have to be afraid. And our actions then should not be driven by fear. They need to be driven by education and knowledge. So with that in mind, this is lesson number 1, and that's how you're going to submit it. Lesson number 1, intro lesson, will be the title. And I have questions for you. So question number 1, the name of the virus that is being used in the community and in the government is coronavirus. The name in the scientific community is COVID-19. That is COVID-19. So question number 1 on your submission is, what does COVID-19 stand for? Every letter and number in that name stands for something. It means something. I want you to tell me what. And so that is number 1. And I would like this submitted in complete sentences, please. No just answers here. Use your appropriate written language to communicate with me on all of these, okay? Number 2 is, what are the current precautions that we as human beings should be taking so that we can either try to stop the transmission, which isn't going to be likely. The goal here is to stop large amounts of people from getting the virus all at one time. We are probably going to get the virus. The plan is to stop our hospitals from getting flooded with patients that need ICU care, intensive care units, that need ventilators, so that hopefully they trickle into the hospitals rather than slam the hospitals, and people that need the ventilators and IVs and whatever else to keep them alive will have access to it. So the plan here is to stop as many people from dying as possible. So question number 2 was, what precautions do you and I need to take physically so that we are going to slow this transmission, and maybe you will be among some of the small percentage that won't actually get the virus. So I want you to list me at least 5 precautions. There are more. Feel free to list them all, but I want at least 5 physical precautions, things you should be doing to prevent the spread of the disease. All right, number 2. Okay, number 2 is a social one, which is interesting for psychology and sociology students. Human beings are panicking, and people in the government are panicking, and they may be doing things to that they're saying to try to calm the panic, and they may be doing things that are increasing the panic. So if the public is panicking, meaning if you are panicking, what type of behavior is you panicking causing you to do? Tell me 2 things that are in your behavior that if you're panicking, you might be doing them. If the town of Hawthorne and the state of Nevada panic, meaning our government officials and we as communities panic, tell me 2 things that is going to cause for our behavior in the state if we panic. And when I say panic, if we're operating out of fear, we act out of fear, what is that going to cause as far as our behavior? What things are we going to do if we are acting out of fear? And the next one is the world. If the world gets into a panic or operates out of fear, what type of behavior do we expect to see worldwide? And for the worldwide one, you can talk about that in terms of countries. You can talk about that in terms of humanity as a whole. And if you can see any larger picture than that, try to push global for that last question. If there is a global panic, what types of actions might we get from world leaders, from countries, from continents, from communications? Tell me 2 ways that might be affected. Okay, and then question number 4. This is a science question. COVID-19 is more dangerous than the regular flu virus and the regular cold virus, and there's a reason why. So you need to tell me why COVID-19 is more dangerous than other typical bacterial or viral diseases, and this one's a virus. And I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with the RNA. And if you guys remember from Miss Cardenes's biology classes, that's ribosomal nucleic acids. And the RNA is what the DNA codes, right? So DNA is here on the string, and the ribosome attaches, and it starts building an RNA chain that looks similar to the DNA chain. So this DNA coded this RNA, and it has something to do with the RNA. I'll give you one more hint, if I can remember the terminology. Nope, can't remember the terminology. Live stream. It has to do with the immune response from the body because of that RNA. Okay, so those are 4 questions. To repeat them, number 1 is, what does all of the lettering and numbers in COVID-19 mean? Number 2, what are precautions that you should be taking to prevent the spread? Give me 5. There should be more. You can give me more, but give me at least 5. Number 3, what are the issues of panic? So if you are panicking, tell me 2 things that might cause you to do in your actions. If we as a Hawthorne community or as a Nevada community are panicking, what are 2 things that we might do in our actions, either as a state or as a community? And if there's panic around the world, what are 2 actions that might actually be taken around the world globally somehow, country-wise, whatnot? And number 4 was, why is the COVID-19 virus so dangerous? And your hints were it had something to do with the RNA and the human immune response. And that other word I couldn't think of is something about the protein flood, the protein from your immune response, protein flood. If I think of it, and if I can figure out how to post comments on my video, I will post it down below. Okay, so that's my video, 15 minutes, not bad. I've seen people ramble on for a lot longer. I miss you guys, and we will try to make this entertaining.